God, I hate this song. So annoying. Skip ad. Skip.
Hi, it's Vince with
Oh,
Sham
fuck
Wow.
no.
You'll be saying wow
I'll be
every
saying,
time you use this
wow, you're
towel.
so fucking
It's
annoying.
Like a chamois,
It's a chamois, it's a towel. Oh, who really cares? Skip. Anime addicts, do you miss ads like that? Do you miss your buddy Vince from ShamWow? Of course you don't, because we don't torture you with ads like that. Instead, if you want to support the podcast, you can help us stay ad-free by going to aaapodcast.com/join. Hey, you can head over to patreon.com/aaapodcast for those of you that like Patreon. And you're going to get our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, our after parties. And, of course, it's going to be commercial-free, so you get all that. What else could you possibly want? Again, over at aaapodcast.com/join. Let's start the podcast.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at aaapodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome to the 572nd episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, where we try our best to make your addiction so much worse.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So much worse. And in the background there with the oh fuck yeah, that was Mitsugi. What are you drinking today, Mitsugi?
Pink Monster, it's Ultra Rosé, baby. Pouring it. Oh, a high pour with the foam. Oh, happy to be here. And happy to make your caffeine addiction worse as well.
I mean, I got my coffee right here. That will make the both of us. Now, third person in the chat today, Mason. Do you have any caffeine addiction you'd like to share?
No caffeine. Everyone knows caffeine is bad for bad people. No caffeine.
Bullshit, shit.
It's just for Hydra homies only. But glad to be here today.
Okay. You want to show some shade on your caffeine addicted friends here?
Actually, I think caffeine is technically actually beneficial in a lot of cases. I'm just too much of a bitter hater to drink it. So
well,
there you go. I'm just too weak to handle it. Maybe that's what it is.
It definitely
Perhaps.
dehydrates you.
Well, you got your water on hand, right?
Indeed.
Wow.
In the atypical white cup today. Usually going blue, but mixing it up. And of course, Mitsugi is holding his jug of moe blooded juice.
God.
I love to drink the blood of moe girls. As the Pope of the Church of Mitsugi, I say unto thee, delicious.
You know what they say, hydrate or dihydrate.
That's his harvest from last week's slaying spree.
Was it a good harvest?
It was. We even had some moe on moe crime this last time around, so it was pretty brutal. So
Fabulous.
Maybe we'll put that up on the Patreon. How about that?
What, go hunting with Mitsugi in the moe pit of hell?
You don't even want to know what Umaru-chan can do with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch. Okay, I'll just tell you that right now.
You know, I feel like I don't want to.
So
welcome to the episode where we don't normally talk about moe blood on the regular basis, maybe once an episode. Let's head into what our social media is all about. We are on Twitch, twitch.tv/AAA podcast. We are live every Sunday at 5 p.m. EDT, just as we are now. But if you are listening to the podcast, you can get us pretty much anywhere on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, several other podcast apps. So go check us out there as well. And we are also on Facebook and, of course, our lovely Discord, where we have several things going on, which we always talk about at the end of the episode. So stay tuned for that. Now, Mason, you made a guest appearance on a different podcast.
Wow.
Are you severing your loyalties here?
No severing. Yeah, I was invited over to the Talkin' Anime podcast. I'll be on episode 31, so it'll probably be out whenever this episode comes out. And we talked about weird anime, and fittingly, the episode got wild. So if you've ever wanted to hear me talk about some of the strangest things I've ever watched and some of the lewdest things I've ever watched in the name of podcasting, go check that out. It was a pretty fun time, and I think people might enjoy it. So give that a shot. Go support those guys, and that's how it went.
And I'm sure thorough plugging occurred on this podcast episode, correct?
Oh, of course. Everything I ended
a good
with,
man.
I'm like, courtesy of the AA podcast. You know.
Oh, that's a good man. Mm-hmm.
Well, this episode of our podcast, we are playing a game called the Mal 100 game. Do you want to explain a little bit now, Mitsuki, or should we wait until later?
Jesus Christ.
So we'll talk about it later, but basically we're going to be testing our knowledge of the top 100 anime from Mao, and the loser will have a vicious prize dealt unto them, or I should say a vicious penalty. So
I did not approve of this penalty.
You didn't.
I approved of a penalty.
Yeah,
I did not approve of this particular penalty, which, I mean, I'm going to say it now. These two right here, wherever they are on the screen, here and here, well, they decided to throw me into the Moe pit of hell because this is something that I did not agree to this. They decided to stab me in the back.
It's a sticky situation, and we'll talk about it later.
Oh, damn.
I'm a little hurt, to say the least. And coming up after that Mal 100 game, we have the review of Jujutsu Kaisen, so I'm sure we're all excited to talk about that as well.
Let's get going.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
All right. So I have a funny news article that I will talk about. Japanese man arrested for stealing women's shoes and replacing them with new ones.
Bullshit!
Okay. How is that for a fucking article? How for a title?
It's only better if he did it after repelling from a building like last time.
There's so many bizarre crimes going on in Japan right now. There's another one too that I'll save for maybe Good, the Bad, and the Moe in an upcoming episode. But so in Aichi Prefecture in central Japan, which is where a lot of this weird shit seems to happen, a 33-year-old man named Hiroaki Katsu. But Katsu is delicious, isn't it? Oh man, that got me hungry all of a sudden. Katsudon? Oh, Katsuya? Oh, fuck.
I don't think that has anything to do with this story.
No, but Mason especially knows of the luxury of just that cold shredded cabbage with a nice pork katsu cutlet with some rice. Fuck yeah! Oh, I'm so hungry. Sorry.
Feeling it.
So anyway, an office worker from Nagakute City. I don't know anything about Nagakute City at all. I don't know how many people are in Nagakute City, but I'm going to look it up right now. He was arrested on theft charges. Now, it's pretty bizarre stuff. Nagakute City's got, where the fuck is this thing? The middle of nowhere. Well, it's kind of like southwest of Tokyo with a population of 61,000. So it's a small city. According to police, Katsu, as I'll call him, had about 20 pairs of women's shoes in his house, ranging in style from boots to loafers, and also like sports shoes and pumps. The arrest came after Katsu was discovered to be the culprit that swapped out a pair of shoes valued at approximately $45 from a 23-year-old woman instructor at a music school in Nagoya. The woman intended. She noticed that her shoes were not broken in like usual when she left for work and called the police. My thought was like, who would do that? like think about it. If you had like a busted up pair of old shoes and that you were wearing to work and someone came and gave you brand new ones, would you call the police?
Are they the same shoe?
The exact same shoe.
That's so creepy.
Same shoe, same size. Same shoe, same size, same everything. Anyway, she called the police. Anyway, and the police used I guess they tracked the guy down and caught him. And he said, quote, "I wanted to smell the scent of women's shoes," he admitted. Caroline.
Oh no!
You have to
beefy.
know how weird that sounds. Katsu.
All right, yeah, Katsu-kun. Police consider the crimes to be premeditated, and as Katsu had taken care to replace each pair of shoes with a brand new pair in the same brand, style, color, and size. They are the kindest criminal ever. It's
almost impressive, almost enough to be like, okay, like, congrats, but still, like, the line was long ago that he crossed.
You know what? You know what I was thinking when I first read the headline? I was thinking, oh, maybe he's taking like the shoes of, women that are on the streets or something, don't have good shoes, and then replacing them with brand new shoes. That would be a good kind of story. This just crosses the line to really, really creepy.
Yep, I just looked it up. Nagoya is about 24 minutes from Nagakute City. So Nagakute City is really a suburb in eastern Nagoya. So, which is where a lot of cool shit's being built, by the way, in Nagoya. It's kind of an up and coming area. So, it's definitely a huge city. I think it might be bigger than Osaka now. I'll have to look that up. It's getting there. So, that's my big news of the week. I thought I'd bring you some.
Question.
Yep.
Here's the question: is it more or less creepy that he's replacing them with the exact same shoe? Like, if he was just taking shoes because he was like fetishizing them, like, yeah, that's pretty messed up. But then to like be like, no, I'm gonna scout her for, I'm assuming days in advance, because it's not like you're just gonna run down the street and be like, oh, Jordan size 11, the Arctic Blue edition. Like, you can't just pick that up. Like, that has to be like meditated in a sense. So yeah, I agree. I think it's almost more creepy that he was being considerate.
Also, I think they said that the woman was like a music teacher or something, so he entered a school to take a look at her shoes.
Yep.
And
he did.
Yikes, as they say.
Many yikes.
So Nagoya has 9 million people in it. Osaka has 19 million people in it. But I'm not really sure which one is smaller by land area. So Nagoya looks bigger to me by land area. Tokyo, 37.3 million people. It's insane. All right.
Wild.
It's fucking crazy. There's more people living in Tokyo than the vast majority of countries in the world. All right. So that's it for the big news of the week from me. Moving on. What do you guys have?
I didn't really find anything interesting for myself, so I just took a break this week.
All good. There wasn't a ton of great stories. My big news is just there's a huge influx of movies being brought to theaters, and I can't say I highly encourage anybody go out and watch them if they aren't vaccinated or don't feel safe or whatever your means may be. But if you are inclined, first and foremost, the brand spanking new Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie is finally coming out stateside very soon. Almost by the time you're hearing this, it will be coming both subbed and dubbed to theaters, IMAX screens all over North America on April 23rd. So that's right around the corner. You can actually buy the tickets now. I looked them up in my area. They're like $13. So maybe I'll go. I am getting my second shot this week, so I will be fully vaccinated. If I do, I'll probably have a little mini review segment in the show, but that's kind of interesting. Additionally, beyond that, G-Kids has announced their slate of movies that they're bringing through to theaters. You have Children of the Sea on mid-June, essentially. Weathering with You, the Makoto Shinkai film. End of July, Lupin the Third, the 1st, end of August, and Promare, the Studio Trigger movie, in mid-September. So all of those as well are going to be both subbed and dubbed, and will include some bonus content. You can find all the tickets on their site. Out of all of these, I don't know which you guys have or haven't seen, but Children of the Sea, it might not be the best written movie, but it is probably the most gorgeous movie to be released in recent years, and if you can watch it in theaters, I highly recommend it.
I went to see Weathering with You when it first came out, and it was pretty good. I mean, if you don't have anything against Makoto Shinkai, then I recommend it.
Makoto Shinkai is good. He's just, all his movies are just the same thing. It's like over and over again. Same thing.
But if you want to have like a really grand looking movie with really good music, and I mean, the stories are the same, but they're tried and true. They're decent. So if you haven't gotten sick of them yet, then they're good.
Well, there you go. That's all I had.
Well, that it is.
Okay. Well, moving on to the Mao 100 game as we clip along through our episode, and I'm pretty excited for this. Do I have like game show music like just on hand? I don't know.
The answer is yes. The real question is, can you find it?
You're right about that. And the soundboard is it makes me go through like lots of ads and all kinds of bullshit. I still haven't paid for it. Welcome to the Mao 100 game. Whoa!
Whoa.
All right, guys. So the Mao 100 game was suggested by Yotaru Vegeta, longtime listener and Discord member. So thank you for that. Who participates a lot. Yotaru Vegeta is probably like the MVP as far as like listener participation. So, all right, the rules of the game. We can kind of adjust these rules if you want to. I just made them up myself. Players take turns guessing anime from the top 100 list of Mao, and the list was taken as of today, which is April 18th, 2021. Players continue to take turns guessing titles from the agreed upon until the agreed upon amount of time has elapsed. So I think that based on how far we are into the episode right now, I think probably like, what do you guys think? Like 35 minutes is a good amount of time
Give or
to
take.
play.
No, we're just gonna breeze through. We're gonna blast through it.
All right, we'll play for 35 minutes. TV, anime, movies, specials, OVAs, all included. Anything goes on this list, and the list does include all of those. So, correct guesses from the list will get you a point and a follow-up question where players can opt to guess how many entries the series has from the top 100 list. So, let's say you guess, like, I'm going to pick an anime that's not going to be on there, like Dragon Ball Z, and I go, oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z is on there. And then I say, okay, well, and then I say, you can guess how many total Dragon Ball Z titles there are from the list. And there's like 14 Dragon Ball Z movies or whatever. So I would say, oh sure, I feel like I can do that, although I probably couldn't. And I'd say 15. And if I can get, and if the total number of titles on the list is within 15, or give or take, we'll say 1, you get a bonus point. And I think that if you get if you're incorrect, should we take a point away? Like, so that's like a chance game.
Wait, so if you get the anime name incorrect, you take away a point?
I'm saying
no,
the guessing
no,
of
just if you guess how many. So if you guessed the right anime but the wrong number, you wouldn't. I don't think we should call it a wash. I'd say you can guess freely.
Okay, so you can guess the number of titles freely.
Correct.
If you guess your initial title correctly, like if I guessed Dragon Ball Z and it wasn't on there, then I think you should lose a point.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
So because I think ultimately I think this game is fairly easy. Like we all know some anime that are going to be on there for sure. So I think that if you get the first guess wrong, you lose a point. And if you get the follow up wrong, you lose nothing. But if you get the follow up right, we'll give you another point. So
I mean, I feel like we're gonna jump out of the gate, get a ton of points, and then realize that we're all taking each other's selection pool, and then we're gonna have to start fighting with guesses. I'm just losing points along the way.
So I have an Excel spreadsheet here. I'm super nerdy on Excel. I have blacked out all the titles, and I'm using the find function basically to search for keywords in the titles of the anime, and then the find function will return a count of how many times it appears on the list. So basically, if Caroline were to say, I want you to look up like Somali and the Forest Spirit, I would type Somali, and if Somali shows up, I will know it. But I can't see the titles of what's on the list, so I can play as well. So, why don't we start first? And I will. Do I have some sound effects here? Oh. All right, we'll start with Caroline. How about that? We'll let Caroline pick first. Ladies first, and
Okay.
Mason
And I'm
will go
not going to be
second.
looking at the chat either. I don't want you guys to influence me, even though all you're talking about is tea right now, which is fine. Just keep
No.
at it.
And
Glad this turned into Tea Club.
I will say that I have browsed the Mal 100 like in the past, but I haven't done it recently. So, I know a bunch of stuff that's on there, but I don't know the overall. I don't know what's like the most current. So, Caroline, why don't you go first? We'll play this game for about 35 minutes or 30 minutes or so until about the 50-minute mark on the episode. Then we'll wrap it up, and we'll see if we have fun. Oh, and the loser Oh,
God.
no.
Here's
Okay.
really where things
Oh,
get
no.
intense.
I am
Loathe.
pissed.
So the loser. This is all Caroline, by the way. This is all her idea.
Okay, no.
Completely her idea.
My idea to do a punishment, not to
Make it punishing?
like an awful punishment. I was thinking more like a fun thing. So we
So
can all enjoy it.
No. No.
You guys are
No.
awful.
Sweet
no,
summer child.
so we will. Whoever gets last place in this game will have to eat. We'll have to eat one full spoonful of natto live on the podcast. And I said we will allow a chaser, but you have to chew at least 10 times before swallowing.
I'm not happy about this.
Caroline is not happy.
I do not want to barf on screen, Mitsuki.
I can't
Listen.
eat. I can't eat natto either. I never could eat that shit in my elementary schools in
I don't
Japan.
even like regular beans. I don't want slimy beans.
Not even little
Maybe-
kids in Japan like natto. It's fucking horrible.
Let's not complain about the punishment until we figure out who it is. And maybe the
Honestly-
listeners will take solidarity with our discomfort and maybe join us in a natto sampling party.
I highly doubt.
I bet
right.
one brave listener would, but
All right, Caroline, you're up first. We will let you select first. I'm gonna try to find. Let's see. I'll try to find like some sound effects here for the game, and oh yeah, that's not really what I wanted, but okay. Caroline, why don't you go first? Why don't you give us a title from the Mal 100?
Okay, how about Death Note? And I think it appears twice.
Oh wow, she's just going. She's so confident that it's gonna be on there.
I'm
That-
I'm confident it's on there. There might be like some compilation films or something that's ranked high or
maybe.
something.
All right, so I have identified that Death Note is on the list. It appears one time.
Really? Okay, I thought the second season would be on there.
well,
So-
there's no season. It's one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what makes this game kind of difficult is that you don't know if they've been listed separately or together.
Oh, and just so you know, Death Note is number 61 on the Mal 100.
Okay,
you go.
so does this mean because it was within one?
No,
listing?
I think that I think that if it doesn't have any extras on the list, then we really can't give you points. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Yeah, because then everyone would just guess 2 for everything.
So, and hopefully this keyword function thing keeps working. So, Mason,
Well, I'm going to try to challenge your keyword thing from the get-go. I'm going to say Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin because I don't know if you've pulled the Japanese or English. I'm going to say the pairs 3 times for season 1, season 3, part 2, and season 4.
Getting very specific here.
I'm really, really trying to flex so that when I make a mistake, I can be like, oh, no, you see, I just make excuses, which is how I play games.
so how many times did you say that it would appear?
I think it'll appear 3 times.
All right, so Attack on Titan appears 3 times on this list. So that's very impressive, actually.
Boo.
I'll give you a little thing here.
Obvious. Thanks.
Attack on Titan season 3.3.5, season 3, and the final season all appear on this list.
Oh, not season 1.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, that surprises me.
Okay.
So it's number 2 on the list, number 8, and number 65. So
Good to know.
nice job, Mason.
Thank you.
Touche. So we're getting some of the low hanging fruit out of the way here, and I had to use the word Shingeki in order to.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So it's my turn. I know what the number 1 is, so I'm just gonna go with that. It's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So, but I don't know if Full Metal Alchemist has a movie. I'm gonna say it's on here twice. I'm gonna assume that the original Full Metal Alchemist is on here as well, and I'm gonna count those as the same thing. So I'm just gonna do Full Metal.
I don't think. I wouldn't think the original's on it.
I would think so. It was pretty popular.
It doesn't seem to be, but Full Metal Alchemist's original season is on the list. It's number 1.
You mean Brotherhood is on the list?
Brotherhood is on the list. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, that was actually the one I was gonna go with. So
Okay,
now I
low-hanging
think something
fruit.
else.
Uh-oh. All right. All right. So currently after 1 round, Caroline has 1, Mason has 2, Mitsugi has 1. So and Mason is in the lead. But really, it's just really you're just trying not to get last in this game.
Exactly. You just have to make sure you don't make any misguesses.
That's right.
I'm just trying to pull ahead and guess series that have multiple entries to try to pull ahead. So there's my strategy. You can steal it if you want.
All right, Caroline, you're back. It's back to you.
Okay. I guess I'll go with Naruto and Twice.
All right. I assume you think that Shippuden and regular Naruto will appear on here.
That's what I assumed, but then I think it's possible that they're together. I think they're actually together.
I think so.
So, I mean, I just say Twice just in case, and maybe there is something else Naruto related on there. Maybe Boruto. I think Naruto's in like Naruto Next Generations is in the title.
I'm going to have to check here because according to my function, Naruto does not appear anywhere on this list.
What?
Because it's not in the top 100.
So I'm going to check here on actual Mal's website. Shippuden is number 330. So it did not
Wow.
make the list.
What about normal Naruto?
Normal Naruto is below that at
Really?
number 660.
You know, I keep on thinking about popularity instead of rating.
Well, if you want to go by popularity, normal Naruto is number 8. It's the number 8 most watched show of all time.
Yeah, so
Uh-oh,
I need to
Caroline.
change my direction here.
Caroline, 0 points.
I hate you both. This is
it-
no
it-
longer fun.
It was a good guess, though.
You
For
can,
my
you can
life.
almost smell the natto already.
It was a good
I'm-
guess, though. I mean, to be honest, because like, you know, I honestly would have assumed Shippuden would have been on there. Mason, it's up back to you, and the chat is losing their shit.
I think we're all on my side. I'm just gonna say that.
Mason, you're
I'm
up.
going to guess Gintama 5 times.
Gintama does appear on the list, obviously, as we know it's the greatest anime ever made. I say that unbelievably facetiously, and it appears on the list 12 times.
Wow.
Which
Too many
is
movies.
fucking
Too many
ridiculous.
movies.
And on the rating,
It appears at number 4, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, 19, 25, 26, and etc. with just a ton of seasons and movies. I'm not going to read them all. So we'll give Mason 1 point for that.
And that's half the options off the board.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we've now eliminated almost all of the top 10 on here. So that's pretty
I can't
stunning.
believe Gintama had so many spots.
Ugh.
Like I knew at least once and maybe twice, but I wasn't expecting so many.
All right, it's back to me, and I'm going to say, this is going to get harder eventually, and I'm going to say that an anime that is definitely on the list is going to be, I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to say My Neighbor Totoro. Totoro, maybe it won't be on the list.
About that one, my friend. I think it's going to be in the, like, hundreds.
Oh, it's not on here.
Wow.
not good.
What?
So My Neighbor
It was
Totoro,
number 3 on the Ghibli countdown.
it's number,
Enough people have watched it yet.
that's a big
I mean,
strikeout
our
by Mitsuki.
podcast.
That's a big strikeout. My Neighbor Totoro is number 228 on here.
That's insane.
Further highlighting how bad people's tastes are. Sick burn. Wow. Well, it's keeping it interesting, Caroline. You and I are still tied after 2 rounds. And by the way, I'm notoriously bad at these games. After 2 rounds, Caroline and Mitsugi tie with 1. Mason's got 3. So we will have to see how this progresses. Caroline, it's back to you.
Caroline
Who-
usually
Okay.
wins in the closing seconds. Though,
Who
so you have to
will?
watch her.
Who
I
will
don't
be
know about
eating?
this one.
Who will be
This one's
eating
gonna come close, I think.
natto?
I think I'm gonna also play it safe, but I know this has to be on the top 100. Kimi no Nawa.
Oh, your name?
Yeah, but I think it's probably listed on as his Japanese name on Miami list.
I feel like you gotta save this music for when we're really just throwing up Hail Marys.
Do you think we can have this playing while the person eats the natto?
Yeah, why not? Listen, who's ever eating it can choose their funeral music.
I think
All
that's
right.
fair.
All right, so Kimi no Nawa is on the list. It appears at number 16.
Hmm.
So Caroline gets 1 point. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, pressure's on Mitsugi now because I can tell you right now, I do not want to eat natto, but I also would feel kind of bad making someone else eat natto. So in a way,
Oh yeah, where were we supposed to get natto?
you can find it.
It's pretty easy to find, and it's very cheap too,
All right.
and healthy. So we're just making excuses. now.
Fucking
wow.
A. All right, Mason, you're up.
Obviously got to go with Steins Gate. I think it'll just be on at once, so it's not even worth guessing.
Steins Gate is on the list. It appears at number 3 on the list, which puts Mason comfortably ahead. All right, Mitsuki is up, and I'm going to double down where I was last time, and I'm going to say Spirited Away is on this list, which is probably what I should have said last time. Spirited Away. No, it's got to be on here. There it is. Spirited Away appears at number 24 on the list. Probably not high enough. So, I will take a point. And after 3 rounds, Caroline has 2, I have 2, and Mason has 4.
Wait, how'd you guys were getting penalized for...
Oh, we did get
Missing.
penalized.
So you guys would be at
Did
1
we already
each.
get penalized?
Oh, yeah.
You
I guess
got your
we
first
did.
one, then you missed, and then you got this one. So you'd be at 1.
All right, we're at 1 then. That's right.
Boo.
All right, round 4. Back to Caroline.
Okay, so I'm going to say Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, and it appears twice.
Okay.
Almost stealing my pick there. It's okay. It's okay. I can recover from this.
Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju does appear twice.
Yes!
At number 69 and number 29 on the list. So, very impressive.
Go ahead somehow.
All right. Oh boy, that's not good. All right, Mason, you're up.
I guess I'll go with Sangatsu no Lion twice on the list.
Ooh, Sangatsu no Lion. I'm not sure this is going to appear. Okay,
I think it will.
Sangatsu no Lion appears, I will confirm, only 1 time on the list. Sangatsu no Lion Season 2 has a ridiculously high rating, and Sangatsu no Lion Season 1 is number 139.
Ooh, just missed. That's okay. That's okay.
So 1 point for Mason, and I will say that my my Excel workbook here is working perfectly. So that's good. And I'm writing down the keywords that we've already said. All right. Do we have any? We still have 2 of the top 10 left. I don't know what they are. Very mysterious. Number 5 and number 7 are still hanging out here. I'm gonna. It's very difficult to like pick one that's on here multiple times. And so I'm going to say that I'm gonna play it safe again. I'm gonna say Princess Mononoke. It's probably on here in the top 10 somewhere, top 100. Princess Mononoke is on here. It appears at number 47.
That's what you should have done. Gone from the best to worst Ghibli films and use that to like gauge like what kind of jumps they're making.
Although I don't know if there will be any more Ghibli films in the top 100. So if Princess Mononoke is only 47.
I think 1 more might be on.
I don't know if I would feel comfortable guessing any more Ghibli films. All right, so after 4 rounds, Mitsuki has 2, Caroline has 3, and Mason has 5. So Mason overachieving as usual. All right. Now, we're back to Caroline. Pressure is getting higher. We've
It's
already
actually pretty hard.
As we've already eliminated, I need to find a way to like figure out how many of these we've already eliminated. We've already gone through 20. Well, we've already eliminated a quarter of the anime from the list.
Wow. I feel like in a little bit we're gonna start actually getting things wrong, and we will be in the negatives at some point. I feel like this. I'm going to say Cowboy Bebop.
That's probably pretty safe. Do you feel like Cowboy Bebop might appear more than once on this list, or are you gonna stick with just 1 time?
I feel like it would only appear once.
All right. Well, Cowboy Bebop is on the list. It appears at number 30. So we will give Caroline 1 point. And with the keyword cowboy eliminated, we will move on to Mason.
I'm gonna go with Haikyuu.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm between 2 or 3. I'm gonna say 3 times. I think that'll cover my bases.
Haikyuu is on the list 3 times at number 21, 45, and 85.
Ooh,
And that is
getting up there.
seasons. That's Haikyuu to the Top season 2, Haikyuu second season, and Haikyuu Karasu no Koko Shiratorizawa, blah, blah, blah,
The
whatever
third
the
one.
fuck. All right, Mason overachieving. It's a battle between me and Caroline right now. And it
Yeah,
probably will remain that way. So I'm going to say Clannad is on this list, particularly After Story. But I will take a shot at 2 points here by saying that it appears 2 times. I don't know if Clannad season 1 will make the list, but I'm pretty confident. I actually wouldn't be surprised if wouldn't be shocked if number 5 or number 7 is actually the Clannad that I'm hunting for. And it is not. It's on the list once, so I only get 1 point. It's number 13 on the list.
Still pretty high.
Yeah. So we still have number 5 and number 7 on here. All right. So after 5 rounds, Mitsuki has 3, Caroline has 4, and me and Mason has 7. Now you really got to think, because we've eliminated so many. What are the hot fucking shows on the list? So, all right. Back to Caroline.
I'm thinking Mob Psycho 100, and that
Okay.
it will appear twice.
Mob Psycho 100 is on the list 1 time.
Ah.
And it's number 22, and it's the 2nd season.
Oh wow! I was actually thinking it'd be of course I figured both of them would be on there both seasons, but I figured that it would be the first one at the very least.
Well, you have
All
to
right.
remember, a lot of times with rankings, the only people
Yeah.
who watch the later season, you know. I guess I'm just gonna steal her idea and go with One Punch Man.
Ah. One Punch.
You think the second season would be on there?
No, no, I think just one. I think just one, and it doesn't count when you guess that.
One Punch Man is on the list 1 time at number 84.
Nice, nice.
So, I will give us our points here. All right. I have a guess. I'm going to say Demon Slayer is on the list here. And I'm going to say that it's possible the movie is on here. So I'm going to say twice. Demon Slayer appears twice. And I may have to check because was it Kimetsu no Yaiba?
Kimetsu no Yaiba. Mugen Train. I don't know if the Mugen Train is... That actually probably is translated as well.
Kimetsu no Yaiba does appear twice on the list.
Very nice.
It appears at number 38 and it appears at number 68, which is not as high as I thought it would be. But Mitsugi comes in and takes 2 points to tie it up with Caroline.
Ooh.
Oh,
We got
fuck
a game.
yeah.
We got a game,
The
lads.
little kids are fucking loving it. Oh, they are losing their shit. Too much sugar.
Too much coffee.
They're hanging on the bottom of the machine guns and Ghibli. You're missing him. All right. Fucking love this. Love
That's
it.
a great
We're in
impersonation.
the swimming club. All right. So right now
We're thinking.
we're sinking. We're going through 6. We've gone through 6 rounds, and I think we'll probably get through like 4 more, maybe 4 or 5 more.
We need to start like guessing wrong. Like we need to start showing how little we know.
Well, right now we're showing how much we know. Right now, the current score is that Caroline and Mitsuki are tied at 5. Mason has 8. So, a Mason overachieving. All right. So, let's move on back to Caroline as this gets harder and harder every round.
Okay, I'm thinking Neon Genesis Evangelion and twice.
Wow. Okay. She guesses Evangelion. I don't think Evangelion will be on here.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let me just check. Survey says, I believe it is on here. One time, the end of Evangelion is on the list at number 93. Squeaks in.
Oh God.
Squeaking in.
I played with fate right there.
All right, but hey, you got it right anyway. So Evangelion's off the board, cannot be used anymore. And as I sit here and rack my brain for stuff that could be on the list still, Mason, it's back to you.
I'm gonna go with Gurren Lagann. I'm gonna say it's on it twice, once for the show and once for the. I'm gonna guess the third movie. It's either the second or third movie. So.
Gurren Lagann.
Yep.
Gurren Lagann is on the list twice.
Damn it! Oh, I hate you, Mason.
The
I
movie,
want you to eat natto.
the second movie apparently, and the original season of Gurren Lagann are both on the list.
Actually, I wonder if it even has a third movie. Maybe I'm thinking of another show that I'm gonna guess next.
I just want to update you guys. The Twitch chat is still talking about tea.
Oh, good. I was gonna say I was excited to see the Twitch chat after this and see what I missed. But if I'm missing nothing, excellent.
I'm really struggling here to come up with like more stuff, to be honest. Okay, I got one that's a guarantee here, I think. I'm gonna say Hunter x Hunter is on here. Hunter x Hunter is gotta be on here, and because I want to beat Caroline, I'm gonna take my shot at 2 times. I still think we gotta be penalized for taking shots like that, but I'm gonna say since it's penalty free, I'm gonna take 2. There is a Hunter x Hunter movie, although I don't think it'll be on here. Hunter x Hunter is on the list 1 time, and it's number 5.
Yeah,
So.
I guess we should. I guess I just figured we would only be guessing for like long-running series.
All right, we are now at the end of round 7. Mitsugi and Caroline are still tied with 6. Mason's got 10. Caroline, it's back to you.
Okay. I think I will go with the Tatami Galaxy on their ones.
Ooh, as much as I love that show, my friend,
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I thought it was highly rated.
I think it's right around 100. I think it's right around there. It'll be
thought
close.
it was highly rated.
It is. Tatami Galaxy, what is the Japanese title of that?
Yojohan.
Caroline's like, Caroline's like, oh no. Okay, it's on here.
Yay!
In Japanese. It's forgive me, I didn't know the word for fucking galaxy, or tatami, I guess it would have been.
It's actually because those words aren't in there. It's like 4.5 gods legend.
Oh, that's fucking
That's
ridiculous.
like what it translates to.
All
roughly.
right. It does appear on the list. It's number 70.
Ooh, that's better than I thought. Yeah, go me for having good taste.
All
You
right.
did not have any faith in it.
I didn't. I really didn't.
So you don't get to yay me about it. You were about to throw it under the bus.
All right, we're back to Caroline.
I already made my guess.
Or we're back to Mason, rather. My
That
bad.
was her guess. I'm debating what to steal, or if I should leave. I know what. I'll do Madoka Magica twice. Once for the third movie, once for the show.
I don't believe Madoka Magica appears on the list anywhere.
Ooh.
So let me just
Wow.
confirm that real quick. What's the highest thing Madoka's got? That would be the third movie, and it's ranked 124. So that's a big.
Dang.
So that's
Good
a
to
big.
know. Good to know.
That's a big swing and a miss.
That's a big
I would say.
Gomen Nasai.
All right, I'm gonna say Legend of the Galactic Heroes is on here. I don't know if it would appear more than 1 time. I doubt it, so I'm just gonna be honest and say no. But I don't really know what the Japanese title is of this. So
It's like
I'm gonna have to look at
Uchu.
Yusha something.
Yeah.
Let me look it up here real quick. I think the old one will be on here. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Yeah. Is on here, and it looks like One Time is probably right. It's number 7. It's the number 7.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be one of the top ones.
All right, so I'm going to take my point and cross out that one on the list. And I'm going to read the scores now because round 8 is over. We have narrowed the score. Mitsuki and Caroline have 7, and Mason has 9. And we are getting tighter and tighter here. Back to Caroline. For another wild guess.
Ooh, that's a
silent
good guess.
Or I think it might be under Koei no Katachi.
Yeah.
I don't see either of those keywords. Let me just
No,
confirm.
you're joking.
Ooh.
Let me just confirm. Oh, it has to be.
It has to be.
It's number 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I had to-
don't doubt Joannie.
I had to capitalize the K in order for it to show up on the function.
It's cap sensitive?
It is.
Wow.
The find function is cap sensitive. I don't think the search function is, but now we're
Gotta
getting
do that V lookup, my dude.
VLOOKUP is fucking trash. Get that out of here. Get that fucking out of here. All right. We're back to Mason, who has not the lead he did have.
But a lead nonetheless.
He does. He has a lead. He's
I'm
ahead by 1.
Going to guess monster.
I think you are going to miss.
Dang.
Or maybe
Dang.
not. Nope, maybe not. Monster is number 30.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
You're goddamn right it is.
All right. So I'm really not feeling confident at this point.
Me neither.
And we've eliminated so many of these. We have eliminated 40% of the list. And most of the ones we've picked are at the top. I just don't know. I'm going to say Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah,
And-
that's
and
definitely.
And I'm going to say twice. I'm going to say New Challenger is on here. And I'm going to say the original Hajime no Ippo is on here. And oh, that can't be right. That's way too many entries. I don't want to check. I don't want to check here and reveal anything. So I'm just going to poke through. Wow.
Or you can like call Pancake and see if she can do it.
Help! Help!
So I'm going to have to just check through here. Hajime no Ippo appears once at 35, twice at 54, and 3 times at 74. So I think I'm taking a bonus point on that one.
Yeah.
But I did reveal one that is on the list that I have to eliminate now because it had the same keyword in it, and that is ReZero.
I was gonna say, or you could eliminate it from your internal thought process, but we
ReZero
go.
appears on the list twice. I'm going to eliminate it right now. Hopefully you guys weren't thinking of that already.
I wasn't.
And I have to eliminate another one because I just revealed one.
Yeah.
and that's Fate, and that's Fate Zero.
oh
So
my goodness,
the-
I was saving that series.
Shut up! No, you weren't.
No, Caroline mentioned Fate earlier. And if
Yeah,
you go
I
back,
knew that was a
Well,
mistake
it's-
on my part. I'm
Review
like,
the
oh no,
tapes.
now he's thinking about fate.
I wasn't
Now
gonna
it's
say
gone.
review the Twitch tape. When Caroline says Fate, you'll see me react like, "That's not a bad idea."
I know,
So-
that's what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, why did I say that? Now he knows.
Well, all the Fate anime are out now. You can't pick them.
Excellent, excellent. Well, there goes 60% of the list.
All right, we're back to. All right, so the score right now: Caroline has 8, Mitsuki has 9, Mason has 10.
Now I have to think of something that has multiple parts in it.
Not necessarily. I could just miss. We'll probably do.
True, but like, what are the odds? How much time do we even have left?
Oh, now they're calling me out for trying to skew the game. I was just trying to make sure. Hey, I was just trying to be honest because I thought maybe Ippo appeared 4 times, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't giving myself a point for no reason. So I had to check what it was, and it was ReZero. So I'm sorry. And then Fate, and then when I checked for 0 to make sure ReZero didn't appear twice, I bumped into Fate 0. So that's how it happened. So don't blame me. Blame anime for having fucking terrible titles. Everything's 0 or Re. Anyway, All right. We're back to Caroline, round 10. We'll probably get through this round and maybe one more if there's a tiebreaker.
I am going to guess
Pressure's on.
Ghost in the Shell with 2.
In the movie, definitely standalone complex.
And
I mean, that seems like
granted,
such a safe bet. Yeah.
I actually never seen Ghost in the Shell, so but I know it's popular.
New rule: you can only guess for shows you watched.
So Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is number 133. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex 2 is number 88. How many times did you say it was going to appear?
Twice. But what about the original Gits? Like the movie.
I know.
My boy Oshii tearing it up.
I'm doing all the heavy lifting here. Let me see here.
I know. No worries.
Ghost in the Shell, the original movie from 1995, appears on the list, but I don't think high enough. Let me just check through these real quick. Ghost in the Shell, the original movie, appears at number 234. So
Gotcha.
we will give Caroline a point, I think it was, for Standalone Complex second season, which ekes in at number 88.
I thought it was going to be higher.
Well, you get a point anyway. All right, Mason, you're up.
Gotta go with the Monogatari series 3 times.
Monogatari.
Yeah, it'll probably be under Monogatari second season. It might be under Owari Monogatari. It might be under, I think.
Yeah. Are they?
Baki might be there
Do they all have the word Monogatari in the title?
Yes, they all would.
Nisei Monogatari won't make it. Hana Monogatari isn't gonna make it. Neko Monogatari Kuro won't make it. Bake
I'm thinking
Monogatari.
second season and Owari for sure.
Monogatari second season looks like it would make it, and then Owari.
Yep.
Owari is number 120.
What about Owari season 2?
Oh my goodness.
I could be wrong.
Well, Monogatari series second season is number 28.
Okay. So not more than that.
Not more than once.
Okay. So I just get 1 point.
All right. So there's a few here on the top still of the list, but we've eliminated an awful lot. And I am feeling very not confident that I basically have to get this right. And it's very, very difficult. And boy, I'm just racking through sports shows. I'm like, Kuroko no Basuke is probably not on there. Like, I don't think like Major's high enough to make it. I just don't know at this point. I'm trying to think of movies. It's like Millennium Actress. Is that high enough? Probably not. Perfect Blue, maybe. I'm gonna go Slam Dunk. And I don't know, honestly.
I think you'd have better luck with Major, but too late now.
Slam Dunk is number 93 on the list. And I'm going to be honest, Slam Dunk is fucking great. It really is. All right, so right now, we just finished 10 rounds. It seems like a good place to stop. Mason's got 11, I have 10, and Caroline's got 9. Caroline's got a very unhappy look on her face.
That's the face of Nato.
Come on. This is so not right.
I have an idea.
I'll tell you what I'll tell the listeners what I was going along the lines of. The person has to watch a really bad show and get to review it, like do a little mini review as a topic or something like that. Or listeners could submit ideas for a drinking game, really, and that person has to do that drinking game through one episode of the AA podcast.
Okay. Look, I have an idea, and we'll do something to let you off the hook. We've eliminated half the shows on the list. And we'll see. Mason might be nicer. He might just be like, let her off the hook. I say we let Caroline pick 3 more shows, and if she can, and if 2 of 3 of them appear on the list, we let her off the hook. What do you think?
If she gets 2 out of 3, she'll have to do the drinking game punishment. And if she doesn't do it, she has to eat a full carton of natto.
Oh no,
No,
that's
And
not
she
right.
can choose if she wants to play this game or not. Do you
You're
risk
gonna make
one
her
bite of natto, or do you risk double or nothing?
You're gonna make her.
Natto?
Horrible. Why
He's-
would you do this?
He's.
to me?
I just want it to be known, Mason's meaner than I am. Because I was
giving
gonna.
her-
Dumbfounded. I
She's
thought
in
we were
no
friends.
worse. Let me scroll through the chat. Let me put this in the record. Caroline at 117. How about a punishment for the loser? And to be fair, she did put quotes around it. But to
Oh,
be
no.
fair, I'm not the loser for once, so. No,
I
we can
think-
be nice. Well, let's do 2
I
out
think-
of 3.
I think 2 out of 3, and we downgrade it to a drinking game.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine.
All right. You got 50 shows left on this list, Caroline. I'm gonna play some music. You gotta come up with.
This is the
I
music.
can't do it with the music.
All right, this is how it's gonna be. This is great entertainment value. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and reveal all the ones that are left on the list because the game's over. And I want to see what they
Wait.
are.
Is she playing? She's doing it, right?
She's still
I just
doing
want to
it.
make sure that people know that people in the chat are saying that Mason is vicious, cruel, and evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, Mason, I just found Owari Monogatari second season on here. So that one, so you get a point for that.
Oh, pulling even ahead. Sorry, I'm just laying on the points now.
Okay. So in the back, like on the next up on my list, I was going to say Wolf Children.
There's Kizu Monogatari, so I think you just lost your point.
Okay, we don't care what.
No, I guess 3. I guess 3.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay,
am
okay.
trying to fight for
I
my
did.
life here, Mitsuki. Focus.
Oh, she's fighting for her life. She's very serious. Okay. All right, so you said Wolf Children?
Mm-hmm.
That's a solid guess.
Okay.
I had thought of that. I'm not gonna look till we're done.
I'm going to say Mononoke.
Mononoke, like the scary show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was having trouble thinking of a third thing.
Be careful here. Think
I need
carefully.
a minute. Please stop it. I am just. Man.
Ooh, I know where you're at right now. I just looked it up.
there's-
Mason, shut
Oh,
up. please.
Mason, there's.
quiet.
I just found Kizu Monogatari to Neketsu Hen, so you just lost your point. That's
No, I guessed 3, so you found 4, right?
Who cares?
I don't fucking know this point.
I'm having a moment.
She really doesn't want to eat natto.
I really don't. Okay, I'm trying to think. I really am having trouble thinking of the third one.
Yeah, there's 4 of them, Mason. All right, so
Okay,
here.
Going through the movies I know of. I'm going through the
All
movies.
right. So I'll tell you right now, Wolf Children is on the list.
Okay.
It's number 59. Mononoke, I'm going to confirm that it is not on the list. Hold on a second.
God.
Mononoke is
137.
137, so real close.
Captain Avatar asks, can she call a friend? And thank you for the support, but I don't think so.
There's
The
so
big problem
many.
here is that like I wanna move this along, but I really am having the pressure is on, so I'm having a hard time.
There's
to think
so
of one.
many good anime on this list, and some of them are real obvious.
I know they are, but like without reference, it's really hard.
Oh, I feel so bad for her. I just want to let her off the hook. Mason's like,
Uh,
yeah.
There's so many good shows here.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Caroline, what do you think? Do you have any inklings here?
I was thinking. Okay, actually no, that's probably not on the top 10. Well, I was thinking Seven Deadly Sins, but I don't think that's high enough. If Naruto's not on there. Let's see, what was highly rated that we've watched? Maybe Eizouken? I don't know.
I'm just making faces now to see how she reacts.
I don't know.
Is that your final answer?
I don't know because I feel like I wanna think more, but I don't want to keep everybody waiting.
Well, I already made a note to trim this whole thing down, so.
What my rambling?
Your thinking process. Your
Okay,
you're
YouTube
twisting
is going
it.
to get this in all its glory.
Yeah.
Oh my suffering.
There's some movies on here. There's some anime that I had on my list still that are actually on here. couple of my favorite anime of all time are on here that we haven't said yet. That was kind of a hint.
Last time I gave like secret hints while this was happening, people in the chat yelled at me, so I'm staying silent.
I'm sorry, guys. You know, I could wait longer, but I feel like I just need to rip off the Band-Aid. Okay, let's go with Azoken.
I'm pretty sure that's not on here.
It's definitely not.
Poor Caroline. Yeah, it's not even close.
Oh my god.
338. I was about to say to you that Mandy's favorite anime of all time is on here.
Hunter x Hunter?
We already said that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Mandy's favorite anime is Natsume Yujin Show. All right, so let's reveal the ones that are in the top like 20. We're only missing one anime from the top 20, and that is Code Geass season 2. Jujutsu Kaisen is on here.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't think it was out for long enough.
Kaisen, Made in Abyss, Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga. Yeah.
Kaguya-sama.
I gave you a hint. I said one of my favorite anime. Great Teacher Onizuka is on here.
How
Promise
easy it is when you're
Promise
looking at the
Neverland
list.
is on here. A bunch of JoJo shows. So poor Caroline. Well, we'll figure out what to do with Caroline later. So
Like a Twitter poll of punishment or something.
yeah,
I feel like
we'll let people decide if.
annoying. The one time I lose the game, and this is it.
I'm ready for the culmination of this arc to be actually you have to eat natto, and you're like, not too bad. I don't know what the big fuss was
That
about.
would be really funny.
If I already am not a fan of beans, I doubt that I'm going to even choke down that abomination of a food.
A kanji is literally fermented beans, but
All right,
do
so
we have a trivia question?
yeah, so Mason won the game. Maybe we'll let Twitter decide if Caroline eats natto or not. We'll
I
see
am
how
not happy with either of you.
we'll see how merciful the audience
I
is.
am going to get back at both of you somehow.
I've had to eat natto on this podcast before already once. So
How would you rate that experience, Mitsuki?
it's terrible. Natto is disgusting, but it is only one spoon. So anyway, all right, Caroline, read us the intro trivia question.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, Toge Unumaki's ability of cursed speech leaves him with a limited vocabulary. Referring to ingredients used to make rice balls, can you name 3 of Toge's safe words? And I have to say, I can think of some really great cursed speech right now. I think I'll leave that for the news break, though.
Okay.
Spoiler, natto isn't one of them, so.
Oh, there are a couple of 4-letter words I'm thinking of right now.
Yo, yoroshiku, Anime Addicts. Mitsugi here. Time for your anime news break, leading us off with 2 new anime adaptation announcements. The first from this year's 19th issue of Young Gun magazine. My Dress Up Darling is going to get an anime adaptation. The synopsis: traumatized by a childhood incident with a friend who took exception to his love of dolls, doll creator Wakana Gojo passes his days as a loner. And then there's a beautiful girl named Marin who is always surrounded by tons of friends and is totally the opposite of Wakana. But one day Marin spots Wakana sewing, and after she barges into the club room, she attempts to rope him into her secret hobby, cosplay. So perhaps a romance comedy here. If you're a fan of this manga property, look out for My Dress Up Darling getting an anime adaptation sometime in the near future. And next, the second announcement, Square Enix opened up a website for the television anime adaptation of Wakame Konbu's Jahi-sama wa Kuji Kenai, The Great Jahi Will Not Be Defeated. So it looks like this series is going to premiere very soon in the summer of 2021. The synopsis: once respected as the Demon Realm's second greatest authority, the Demon King's aide, Jahi, ruled her subjects with fear. When a magical girl attacks and destroys a mystic gem containing massive power, the demon realm is destroyed. So Jahi's lost all of her powers, and in order to she has to gather more mystic gems so that she can permanently restore both her original form and the demon realm. Has some Very cute art that I know will probably appeal to a lot of people. So if you're a fan of these types of stories, Jahi, the great Jahi, will not be defeated, coming out in the summer of 2021. Next up, some non-anime adaptation news. Well, Pretty Cure has been around for a long time, and now the 17th anniversary of the series has prompted the creation of its first cosmetics store aimed at adults. I guess the original fans of the series are now adults and probably are in the market for cosmetics. Bandai launched the Pretty Holic online store in February to coincide with the release of the Tropical Rouge Precure anime that recently announced or launched. The first lineup of fragrances are going to be from the characters Futari wa Precure from 2004 and also the series from 2008, and each one of these will cost approximately $25. Pre-orders are open until the 28th, so if you're a fan of Precure and you are looking for some cosmetics or perfumes, head over to the Precure store. Next up, Paradise Kiss and Beck director Osamu Kobayashi has passed away at age 57 after battling kidney cancer for 2 years. A post was placed on his Twitter account stating that, quote, "It is regretful that there were more things he wanted to do and more works he wanted to make, and when he is reborn, he will surely make more great works." Kobayashi directed Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad, Paradise Kiss, Some Days Dreamers 2, Table and Fisherman, End of the World, Digital Juice, and other properties. He was also working on Naruto Shippuden, Panty and Stockings with Garter Belt, Gurren Lagann, and other high-profile properties. So if you're a fan of Kobayashi, a great creator and director in the anime industry, has passed away, so we mourn the loss. Next up, the Annie Awards, the 48th Annie Awards that happened recently, and no anime won any awards this year, which is in and of itself a little noteworthy. So it looks like there were some nominations. Earwig and the Witch was nominated in both Best Storyboarding and Best Voice Acting, but didn't win either of those. Brand New Animal was nominated for Best Character Design, but didn't win that. And Kenji Iwaisawa's Ongaku, Our Sound, and Masaki's Ride Your Wave were nominated for Best Indie Feature, but neither of them won. So if you're a fan of anime, woe is me. No one won anything in the Annie Awards. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. And now, of course, time to get back to the podcast. Anime Addicts, as you know, this podcast recently became independently funded, and we are attempting to continue on funding this podcast with the help of so many of our listeners without having to play annoying commercials for underwear and razors and cat food and all kinds of other things that bore you and make your listening experience not quite what it could be. And if you go over to our website, aapodcast.com/join, you can sign up. You can also do so on Patreon. And when you do, you'll get our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, and our after parties. 8 total episodes of our podcast per month just for you, just for saying a little thank you for supporting the podcast, because we do appreciate it so much. You can also go to our website, aapodcast.com, simply across the top and click the donate button. If you don't really want to sign up, you can just throw us a couple bucks, help us out. And if you don't have any money to throw our way, hey, we still love you. We hope you keep listening. We appreciate all of our listeners, and we love doing this podcast for you so much, as we have for over 11 years now. So hopefully we'll have another 11 years to come. I love you all so much. Again, if you want to help out the podcast, you can go to aapodcast.com/join or Patreon.
And now, great moments in Anime Addicts Anonymous history.
If the three of us are like horses pulling like a wagon, and the wagon is this podcast, written on the side of the wagon it says, watching anime, okay? And there's like these two badass fucking stallions that are Mandy and Mason, and they're in the front, and they're all like, I'm pulling this cart because I'm a horse. And that's what I do. Oh, and give me a carrot. And then Mitz is like crippled. They thought about shooting me like the day before, but they're like, you know what?
We ate you.
He can still fucking try. But in reality, like along the way, I fell, and I'm just being dragged behind the two stallions. And at the end of the day, They're gonna shoot me and they're gonna eat me because this is the fucking Oregon Trail and that's how things happen. So I don't know.
Oh shit, we all have dysentery.
I don't know what to tell you.
So since you mentioned Castlevania is great. That will be a great thing to watch on Friday, and I watched the whole thing one day.
It is great. Why do you have to tramp your carrot munching, shiny coated?
We have to cut you
so
loose.
hard.
We've been dragging you dead weight for so long. We can't just cut you loose.
Mandy's like, look at my mane, the mane and the tail.
Yeah.
They even named a shampoo after it. And then and Mitz is dead and there's flies, There's flies everywhere. It's the humanity. Welcome back to the podcast. In Jujutsu Kaisen, Toge Inumaki's ability of cursed speech leaves him with a limited vocabulary, referring to ingredients used to make rice balls. Can you name 3 of his safe words? Salmon, bonito, kelp, mustard leaf, ikura, tuna mayo, mentaiko, and roe. If you said any of those, I guess if you named 3 of those, you got the trivia correct, so great job. And if not, you're a loser. So, just kidding. All right. So, moving on from that, as we do sometimes on this podcast, we let Mason get in touch with his waifu side, and Mason will tell you who some of the best waifus are with the Waifu Wars segment. If I can find the fucking drop for it.
It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
I think that people are just foaming at the mouth at the thought of you doing a waifu war.
Exactly. As we stall for time.
I have a suggestion regarding my fate. Could I put a poll on Twitter and ask people, should I go through with this challenge or not? And if the answer is no, then we can let them pick something else.
What do you think, Mason?
Although I feel like with the sadistic listeners that we have, they're probably going to say yes because of how much I don't want to do it.
Well, now you're just encouraging them, so I don't know. We have to have something, but I guess if you want to leave it in their hands, I guess I can be okay with that.
Yeah.
In the game of waifus, you either win or you are late to anime school. Cake will be thrown, ice cold tea will be served. Who will be top in the class and who will be flunked in Mason's Waifu Wars?
So grand. It's been a while. And normally when I do these, it's an excuse to talk about some obscure show that I just want to talk about some more. But in a comeback, you got to go big. So I don't think I've ever talked about Haikyuu and just how many quality waifus there are in that series. So if for some reason you haven't yet watched Haikyuu, what's wrong with you, my dude? This is probably one of the top 5 sports anime of all time, and it's a lot of people's first venture into the genre. And it proves that with slick sakuga, triumphant story beats, and lovable characters, the sport kind of comes second because it just pulls you into the world. And obviously, it tells the story, as you all probably know, of Shoyo, a young boy determined to become an ace volleyball player, despite the fact that he's a little small, but he's trying his best. So please give the show a shot if you haven't yet. Even if you're not into sports, I know that once the cast is introduced, you'll become to it as endeared to it as I have. So, despite the overwhelming ratio of males in the show is no slouch when it comes to the solid female characters, and plenty of them are top-tier waifus. But, in honor of our review later today, and the brave boy that once asked, "What kind of woman is your type?" Let me
What kind of woman's your type?
Oh, God.
Exactly. Who do you guys think is the best waifu of Haikyuu? Well, I'll tell you mine. Coming from the Miyagi Prefecture, standing, towering at 182 centimeters, which is a shade under 6 feet. Number 6 on her jersey, but number 1 in my heart. She doesn't appear until season 4, but it's worth the wait. I'm talking, of course, about Kanoko Amanai from the Niyama girls volleyball team and the childhood friend of Tanaka.
Hey girl, you're looking so fine.
Listen, fans of the tall girls with the short hair unite, because despite her imposing frame, she comes off as a gentle giant. She's a friendly person.
Did you say a tall girl?
Yeah.
My type of woman's a tall one with a big, gorgeous ass!
Oh my goodness, the man after my own heart. A friendly player who shows respect to everyone, and she gets along with members of many different teams, many different audience members. She just is so lovable, and her height helps intensify the gap moe, especially around her crush, because she blushes and stutters, and her shyness just intensifies to off the chart scale. So, you know, a lot of that leads to like humorous situations with her small compatriot Maiko, who often encourages Kanoka to, you know, follow her feelings and, you know, confess every once in a while. And it's adorable. Kanoka is caring, she's determined, and she's most of all athletic because she's very skilled on the volleyball court, and she has tons of potential, and I can't wait to see what comes of her. So most of all, she is the victor in this episode's Waifu War, and if you like anyone else in Haikyuu, that's fine, but you're wrong, and you should know that, and we can move on.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime. Anime. Anime.
Mailbag.
It's like a Numa Numa dance.
All right.
Okay. It is time for your mailbag. You can submit mailbags on aapodcast.com. Just hit the mailbag button. You can send us mailbags. You can send us so many other things, such as Shark Tank ideas. We'll do another Shark Tank episode if we get enough ideas submitted. So there's your, what is it called?
Push.
Yeah,
Motivation.
that's your push. It's good. Yeah. Motivation. Those are all the words that I was thinking of. All right, so let's go into one by Utaru Vegeta. He's probably the one who sends us the most of these kind of things. So put on your game show shoes, AAA. We are going to play What's the Best? So for our first What's the Best, I want to ask you, what's the best witch anime? Before you answer, let me introduce you to the one rule of this game. The anime has to have the word witch in it. For example, Witchblade is a witch anime, even though the anime is about a superhero, not a witch. On the other hand, if you love Bayonetta, Bloodly Fate, it doesn't count. So again, what's your best witch anime? And we added a couple other words because that really limits the anime that we could talk about, especially if we haven't seen many of them. So we've added dragon and children.
So not a show that has to include all three words, but our best show that has the word witch in it, the best one that has the word dragon in it, and the best show that has the word children in it.
Well, if we're including Japanese word for witch, then I say Majo no Takubin, which is Kiki's livery service. If we're not, then it's Little Witch Academia.
Look at Mitsuki just wiping the floor with our two suggestions, Caroline.
I mean, to be fair, I'm the first one who suggested Majo no Takubin. So I think he's just playing off of my idea. So, but the thing is that I haven't even seen Little Witch Academia. I have not seen many anime with the word witch, dragon, or children involved. So yes, I did say Kiki's livery service, or it's by its Japanese title, because Majo does mean witch. In terms of the best children one, I'm going to have to say Wolf Children, because again, I haven't really seen any quote-unquote children anime, and I haven't seen any dragon anime, so that pretty much limits me.
I'm supposed to do the other ones as well?
I guess so. I mean, this really wasn't...
My dragon one would be Dragon Ball Z History of Trunks, and my children one would be Fantastic Children, the 1990 or the 2004 fantasy series.
I'm just going through my anime list so I can follow up. So I also had Little Witch Academia as the best witch one, but since that one's occupied, let's go with Burn the Witch, that like 3-episode pseudo series movie thing. That was kind of cool. Best dragon, I went with Drifting Dragons, but there's the Dragon Dentist is probably a close second if you can't use the plurality of a word. And for children, I went with Surezure Children, because that's a great show and people should watch it.
All right.
And that's it. Thank you for the mailbag.
Yep. Go submit more mailbags. We'll keep reading them. And appreciate you guys, of course. So
But now it's time. Long awaited, I feel like. It's been a long time coming, but it's our review of Jujutsu Kaisen, This is a fall 2020 show, our last from that season, if Dragon Quest ever finishes up.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up on it.
I did an impression on this show and passed it on episode 547. You can watch it over on Crunchyroll. It's done by a studio that needs no introduction, MAPPA, did Dorohedoro, Kakegurui, directed by Son-Hu Park, who did God of High School, also by MAPPA, and Garo Vanishing Line. It's based on a manga, and the synopsis is that Yuji Itadori is a high schooler with immense physical strength, but rather than playing sports, he much prefers the occult club. One day, the club manages to get their hands on a sealed, cursed object, and by breaking the seal, it drags Yuji into a world of evil spirits and the sorcerers that fight them. This is the big shonen that just finished up. It won a bunch of awards and a lot of hype going into the show. So with that in mind, Mitsugi, what were your initial expectations?
I thought it would be a really good show. You know, heard nothing but good things. I knew it was gonna be an action show, and that's about it. I mean, it's Mappa, so I expected it to be good. I mean, Mappa's been just making a fool out of the other studios in the last year. So
there you go. And Caroline?
Well, I heard a lot about it, before it came out because I know that the manga was very popular. I'm a fan of some shonen anime. I can't say that I'm like a massive shonen fan because sometimes it does get pretty samey after a while. So I at least like to break it up with a lot of other stuff. But I do like a good shonen. And I was not quite sure based on the premise if this would be a great shonen, but at the very least the popularity seems to speak for itself. So I was interested in giving it a try. And I figured, again, because of the popularity, it had to be at least decent.
Yeah, and as the one who impressed it, I had seen a little bit of the show prior to this, and I kind of knew what I was getting into, just hoping that what I saw in the first couple episodes would carry through in quality and charisma, and we'll see if it delivered that. So, spoiler-free recommendation, Mitz, should the people watch Jujutsu Kaisen?
Probably. I think it's an action show. I mean, it's a shonen show, so I mean, it's every bit as Bleach and Naruto as anything you're gonna see. I mean, it's if you like shonen fighting anime, this is a really good one. I think it's got good characters in it. It's got one of the best ending themes I think I've ever heard. The first ending theme, the Lost in Paradise, that song's fucking great. It's like unbelievable.
Fun fact, that's by the band Ali, which we have mentioned in a previous episode. Their drummer got arrested.
Well, their music is good, I guess.
It is good though.
So love the ending theme. The opening was good. The characters in this, as I said, are really good. It's got enough comedy in it that it's like, pretty pleasant. And some of the action scenes are just super good. I mean, it's a very quick watch, and the dub was pretty good. So honestly, I recommend it to a whole lot of people, unless you're just totally turned off by shonen. I'd say if you were looking for a shonen anime to watch, this is pretty easy. So yeah, I'd probably recommend it to. I think most people like shonen, so I think most people will like Jujutsu Kaisen, and I think that's shown up on like people's reviews online and how frequently and how viewed it was from the prior seasons.
Absolutely. Caroline?
I would indeed recommend this because it is a shonen, so if you know that you hate shonen, this is not the show for you. But if you at least like some shonen, and of course if you like all shonen, then this is a really good pick because kind of like Demon Slayer and how popular that is, and also My Hero Academia, it is a shonen, but it is a very, very well produced shonen, and like it looks great, the music's great, characters are pretty good. So it hits a lot of those marks, like the basic marks that makes a good anime. So, yeah, I recommend.
Yeah, I guess I have to parrot what they said. And overall, It's a pretty decent show. I'd probably put it on the same level as Demon Slayer. I ran a Twitter poll over the last couple days asking people like, hey, we had two big like shonens based with like demonic powers, great visuals, great opening, like who wins out between Jujutsu and Demon Slayer. And it was a pretty much a 50-50 vote until the end where Demon Slayer just edged it out. But it's certainly fans of one will like the other. I mean, there's great visuals. More importantly, the choreography, the fights have such an impact to them, and like velocity with the camera whipping around, and even like the way their hair moves just adds so much layering that makes it such a treat to watch. I like how there's not like a slow, steady like power leveling system, but they just jump right to the highest level, and it's got very much like a Parasite like body horror kind of vibe to things, where it's a little more gruesome and dark in a lot of the powers and a lot of other shonen. So besides some very typical archetypal characters that are kind of meh, not much of a plot. It kind of just jumps from one moment to another. And I think in my impressions, I said this show felt like eating a chocolate chip. Like, it doesn't do anything new. It doesn't reinvent anything, but it's solid and it's satisfying. And yes, you're eating the same chocolate chip for 24 episodes, but it's still pretty tasty. So if you're not too jaded by the shonen tropes that are very apparent in this show and the genre as a whole, check it out. So that's all I had.
It's pretty funny. I was joking with Pancake while we were watching this, because it has an old man in it whose name's Gaku Ganji, and he's got like these big ears. He kind of looks like the Hunter Association president from Hunter x Hunter. And
absolutely.
And we were joking in a prior episode when we reviewed Dr. Stone. There's an old man who does voice acting. His name's Mugi Hito, and he does like every old man character you've ever seen in any anime period. And lo and behold, I go to the voice actor list and I look up Gaku Ganji, and who is doing the Japanese voice of Gaku Ganji? None other than my man, the Wheat Man, Mugi Hito.
Our guy.
So he is fucking, every time there's an old man character in anime, this fucking guy does the voice. I swear, this guy is like a legend. And he wears this little beanie. I just want to pinch his cheeks. He's fucking
Moogie.
He's fucking getting up there too. He's 77 and still doing voice acting. Get that. Yeah. So, anyway. Are we ready for spoilers?
I think so.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
I mean, first and foremost, I feel everything in the show is like influenced or lifted or straight copied from every other shonen that came before it. So I don't know if there's even much to spoil. It's very much we all know what happens. But I guess, what were your guys' favorite arcs? What segments of the show were you particularly drawn to or interested in?
I love Gojo. Gojo is fucking the bomb. He's cool. He's not as cool as like Bean Bandit. Okay, he's not Onizuka cool. He's not Kentaro Oe cool, but he's pretty damn cool. He's Kakashi cool, I'd say. And it kind of looks like Kakashi.
Yeah, very much of the show is the Naruto trio of MC, boy sidekick, female sidekick, teacher with half his face covered by black cloth.
So, I mean, I really liked... I'm trying to like figure out what the arcs even were in this. You know, I really enjoyed just like any time that they were fighting, because the show has such good action scenes. I think the ending of the show was probably one of the weakest points of it. Like, I wasn't super drawn in by episode like 20 through 24 so much, or 20 through 23, with like the three kids or whatever that they fed them the cursed fetuses or some shit.
Brothers, yeah, that was probably the weakest arc. Just trying to, we have 4 episodes to fill up after the last big one just finished. Let's just put a little one in there. I get that.
But I really enjoyed the beginning of the exchange arc, because it had a lot of fighting in it. The fight with the robot guys were pretty neat. The fight with the weird like dude with the tree eyes, that was a pretty good fight. And just watching Gojo taking apart Mount Fuji head, that was a pretty good fight. So, but the story doesn't have a lot of fucking plot though. So I mean, what else am I supposed to do except?
It sounds like you came for fights, got lots of fights, and were happy with the fights.
That's yeah.
And Gojo's your boy. How about Caroline? What characters were you more jiving with?
Actually, I really do like Yuji. I think he's for one, he's not stupid. He's not a total idiot. And I feel like they made some comments that he was stupid, but honestly, I didn't really see that. Because generally, I think he's just a really good-natured person and funny and just a little cinnamon roll. He's adorable. So I really like him. Whenever he was getting involved in something, obviously, he's the main character, so he's always involved. I'll be honest, I didn't really like the other, was it Megami? He was okay. I wasn't really much of a fan of his character. Gojo's pretty cool. And as much as I felt it was weird with, what was his name? Toto? The big guy? As much as I'm not a big fan of his very, superficial views on women, I find him pretty funny, and I do like his brotherly relationship with Itadori. So I thought that was pretty funny. So everything except for the whole ass thing. Yeah, he was pretty great. So yeah,
you just want to hear it again.
I thought his powers were really cool. The whole clap thing that just elevated that fight scene for me. It was really cool, so I enjoyed that.
Absolutely. So I absolutely agree that Itadori was such a great character. He was very emotional, but not in a crybaby way. He just was very empathetic, and he just had a great outlook, and I think he absolutely made the show more digestible. And I actually thought that his dub voicing kind of ruined his character. It made him a little too generic compared to it made him just feel like every other shonen MC, whereas I think the original voice acting did a great job of capturing his spirit. And I guess for my favorite arcs, honestly, the first half of the show was not doing it for me. I thought the first half of the show was probably my least favorite part. It just kind of had some all right fights and all right moments, but it was very disjointed of introducing characters and then just being don't worry about them, or this weird trying to explain this power system. And I honestly don't think the powers in this show, aside from Toto's, are all that interesting. It's very just punch heavy, and I'm going to channel more energy into my punches. I didn't think the fights were that interesting. But I shouldn't say but. So when they started the second arc of this school exchange meetup, I was oh no, this is going to be even worse. We're going to get all these characters with flippant backstories that I don't care about, who just fight with boring powers. And I was actually really starting to doubt what the show had to offer. And I think that arc, for not the fights as Mitch suggested, was by far my favorite part of the show, because that was when, to me at least, it started getting into bigger themes than just fighting. And maybe I'm reading too much into this, but it seemed to be there was two schools of thought going on. And it seemed like they were kind of almost divided by gender, whereas all the male characters were very much in a existential crisis of what is me? What is the soul? And it kind of started with Mahito, where he's saying, are you your soul trapped in your body, or the flesh that contains your life essence? And he kind of had one view. Nanami, the glasses bro, who was kind of cool, he had one view. But even then, beyond that, you had Muta, the puppet guy, he's living in this bathtub, but is that really him, or is it the puppet he's controlling? Or you had Toto, who's no, your body, your essence, the whole flow of life is one thing. He had a very holistic view.
Yeah.
And it kind of went down to Sukuna and Itadori. Who is Itadori? Is he the flesh? Is he the soul? Well, Sukuna's now in his thing. And Sukuna, is he just in one of his fingers? Is he in all 20 of his fingers? Could he be in different fingers? Is his soul divided? It really got into what makes you you, and how do you see yourself? And I thought that was really interesting. Nothing new, but really cool. And then from the female character side, all of these different characters, as much as I really didn't care about their backstories, Like they were all fighting for like one of finding value or equality. Like Nobara was fighting for like, if I am strong, I will be valued. And Momo was like, no, that's not enough. You need to be like cute, because strength enough isn't enough for women. And Mei was like fighting for money. Maki was earning it to be like part of her family. And Mai was like chasing in her sister's footsteps. And like all of these like tumultuous worldviews were like interacting and playing off one another. And I think that was really where the show was at its best for me. So sorry for rambling a little too long, but I thought that was good.
The thing that I was not a huge fan of was actually the power system. So at some points they were cool, like Toto's was cool. At some times I thought Nobara was like with the hammer, that was pretty cool. And of course, punching things is generally okay. It's just I couldn't really get a handle on the extent of these powers, because they get so out of whack. Like with the guitar thing, that was weird.
That was so fucking dumb. God,
Jesus. Yeah, they just like take one idea, which is this cursed energy, and then they expand it to encompass all these things. And then you have Witch Girl with the broom. I'm like, okay, come on, that's just silly. And like the cursed objects, I can do. They're weapons, like anything else. I thought it was a little bit strange that Nanami had such a specific constraint with the whole like 2/3 thing. Is that what it was? Like he can only cut through something 2/3 of the way?
No, it was like a point where he could deliver like a critical hit if it hit at like a JoJo golden ratio amount along the length of something. Like it was a little whatever.
Yeah, so I like something to have some sort of a limitation, and then you can get really creative within those limitations. This power system seems like it can encompass anything and everything, and it was okay. I mean, it didn't ruin the show for me. I still enjoyed the show. It's just I kind of prefer things with a little bit more limitation.
Yeah, the powers were not interesting. And the worst part about that guitar reveal is this old dude like whips off his coat, starts shredding, and then it cuts to the guy who's fighting, who like doesn't acknowledge it at all. He's just like, why don't you go home and drink some milk, old man? And then the scene ends. Like there's no follow-up. We just see this weird event, and then it just cuts away, and you're like, okay, sure.
Well, I think the reason why the power system didn't really work well for me was because they didn't nurture it enough. Like if you think about other shonen shows like Naruto or Dragon Ball, they start off very weak. Like it's like Naruto, they're little kids, and Dragon Ball, it's like Goku's power level's like 100, and all this. And in this show, they have a power system. It's like rank 4 through 1, and then there's like special rank. But rather than like have season 1 mostly like rank 3 monsters or something, they just jump right to like special, and it's just like it's almost like the rank 3 and 4s will never matter, 2s will never matter. It's what's 1s and specials, and nothing else will matter. So it's almost like there was really no point to have the ranking system at all, because they never had the build up of going through it. Like they could have had most of the first season be rank 3s and 4s, and then like at the end they fight like a rank 2 or something, or a rank 1, and it's like this huge deal because holy shit. But like rather than do that, they just kind of leapfrog over it all and just say fuck it, throw it out the window. And I think they're fighting like the first special rank like pretty early, like episode 8 or something.
3 or something. I think when they go to like the jail or whatever. That's
they're looking for the missing construction workers or whatever. And
yeah, actually on that topic, I do not understand this quote unquote school, because it seems like they're mostly just doing a job, and it's a really dangerous job at that. And I feel like they mostly learn through that job, which is okay, then call it an internship or something. And they even get paid. I feel like nobody should do this work for free. And I know that kind of sounds more like a gripe of me not being able to suspend my disbelief, but it's also like, why call it a school at all? It doesn't even seem like they were actually learning anything, except for maybe Itadori, but that's because he's completely new at this.
Yeah, it's probably just like a ninjutsu school or something like that, where it's just a place of honing your craft more than. But I get what you're saying. And to clarify, like I'm not upset that they jumped power levels and didn't follow the steps to go from weak to strong. I'm upset that like their powers I just don't find interesting.
Well,
Like,
they may get more interesting, you know, as they go along.
They may, and this show has a ton of potential, and I think the show will get better as it goes on. But considering what I know of the show now, not reading ahead in the manga, like the powers just aren't. Like I said, Toto's was great. It was an interesting dynamic. It looked phenomenal visually, and it played into kind of the bond that the two of them had in their cooperation. But everyone else was just like, I can shoot bullets with a little oomph, or I can summon dogs with a little oomph, or I can, there wasn't just, it wasn't, I don't know, maybe I'm just spoiled by JoJo's, who power system is all over the place, but the creativity of it is what pulls you back in, and this show was lacking in that department.
Well, and speaking of JoJo, some of the monsters in this definitely resemble JoJo pretty well.
Yep.
There's definitely some JoJo influence in this, and
I feel like everything though, like maybe it's just me being jaded, but almost every moment I was like, oh, I could see that being taken from this show or that show. Like, it's not that the show is unoriginal, but I think just it follows the playbook too close. It's coloring inside the lines so much that I'm almost not impressed, despite how pretty the picture ends up at the end. I'm just like, well, it's very much riding on the shoulders of giants, which isn't a bad thing, but it does weigh on me a bit.
I thought overall, I really thought the show was quite good. I mean, it's one of those shows where, like I say, oh, there's not much plot line, but the reality of it is that none of these shonen shows ever really have much of a plot line in the first season. Like if you think about Naruto, like they weren't doing jack shit in that anime in the first season. It's just. I mean, and to be perfectly honest, like even like Demon Slayer, which people just like lose their shit over, that fucking show doesn't have much of a plot line either. It's like, oh, the monsters killed my parents, and now I have to go get revenge. Like that's not really much of a plot line. It's just it's a revenge. Let's just go kill everything story. But I assume that there's more to the plot of Demon Slayer. There's just like there was more to the plot of Naruto, and just like there's more to the plot of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just gonna take 150 episodes to get to it all. Or however long this show will be, I assume long, and so it's like it's like I say there's not much plot line, but really it's a shonen fighting anime, and the story is mostly fighting, and because they have an encounter, and the encounter takes 4 episodes. It's just like how in Slam Dunk, they make one game take 8 episodes, and there is a story. It just takes forever to get there because they drag it out and make the fights take so long. You got to remember Frieza and Goku fought for like 27 episodes or whatever. So
I'd say this show was definitely this show did not feel padded out or like delayed in the same way like a Dragon Ball does, though, to be clear.
Well, no, it's not quite that bad, but you know what I mean. It's just overall, I thought the show was really good. I'm kind of wrapping up my thoughts here, like, and the music is solid, the visuals are solid, the fighting is solid. It's smooth like butter. Like, there's some anime where like I'm falling asleep watching it. It takes 26 episodes, feels like an eternity. Oh my God, I'm suffering. It's like, and this anime is like, one of those where it's like I'm watching it and I'm actually looking forward to watching more of it than like the following night. And it's like I get through it like in a blink. I woke up this morning and I discovered last night that I thought it was 19 episodes long, the season, because they only had 19 episodes dubbed. And I was like, first of all, I don't understand why the fuck they do that. And then second of all, it's like they did 19 of them. Like, just finish it. And then
I'm sure they will.
We'll get to it, people. And then I realized that there were 5 more, and I was like, oh fuck, there's 5 more. But like I watched them this morning, it was no problem. I got through them quickly because it's just easy. It's just easy to watch. It's very palatable, and the pacing is quick, and it just an episode goes by in no time. I think I even had one moment where I was like, "Damn, was that the whole episode?" Because it's like you're watching it and it just ends like as quickly as it starts. Whereas I have watched anime before. It does happen quite frequently where I'm watching like a Rent a Girlfriend, where I'm checking the fucking bar on the bottom of the screen 4 times an episode because it feels like forever. And this is just not one of those. Just, time flies when you're having fun. So, I like this show quite a lot. I definitely will watch the second season. Even Pancake liked it. I would say I'd probably give this show that probably, I'm going to give it a very harsh 4 of whoever the fuck their name are, fingers out of 5, because
Sukuna.
yeah, I just feel like the show could have been a little better in certain ways, but ultimately it was still great and it wasn't disappointing at all.
Cool. Caroline, I guess, yeah, let's just give our final thoughts.
Okay. I just want to say a couple small things.
Yeah, go for it.
That I also have on my list. I thought it was interesting because at the very beginning of the show, they introduced the group of friends from Yuji's first school, and I actually really liked them. And I was kind of surprised that they're kind of one and done out of the window.
A bunch of fun.
Yeah, and like here's this kid who risks his life trying to save them, and then they kind of drop off the face of the earth, and he never really talks to them again, which I kind of thought was strange. But besides the point, I kind of wish I saw more of them. And following up with that, when the main cast centers around 3 friends, and that means, Nobara, Yuji, and Megumi, I kind of figured that I kind of like it when they hold on them for a little while longer, so you can get their dynamic, you can be with them, you can see their friendship. So I always think it's strange whenever they do that, and then they split them up so soon. And actually, that's kind of similar to what they did in Dr. Stone with Senku, and then you got Taiju, and then you got Yuzuriha. And they split up like almost immediately as soon as all 3 of them get together. Those are the kind of things I just don't really like in general. But I mean, I guess I got over that kind of quickly because the rest of the show kind of centers around the 3 of them, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it makes their reunion a little less impactful when you didn't really have a bond to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, like, I hate to think of Naruto because they had hundreds and hundreds of episodes to do that exact same thing, and that's not exactly what I want, but I kind of figured that maybe around the midway point of a show, they would split them up. But yeah, I mean, and again, it's not really a big thing. And then the smallest thing, but still something I thought about, inconvenient hairstyles really annoy me.
Oh my
that
God.
One character with the big ass braid just hanging down her face, and I'm like, that is so infuriating. I think it's just so dumb. But that's just something I wanted to just mention. But those are just all silly things I wanted to mention.
I could argue that like maybe this, like her hair in front of her face is a reference to like that she uses her powers to see through like ravens and birds, and like having her own eyes obstructed could in some way, like Gojo, like obstructing the eyes, unlock power.
I
trying
doubt.
to give it the benefit of the doubt.
I doubt. I'm not
doing it for the money.
I really do think, because you've seen that before, where it's just like, why do you have a hairstyle like that? And I think it's just because they want to make it look interesting. But it just infuriates me.
It's really annoying. It was I noted that as well. Like, what the fuck is that hairstyle?
But yeah, I mean, the characters are really likable and they're great overall. The production value, fantastic. And, the music, the OP and the ED, they were probably one of the most talked about OPs and EDs in a while. So, yeah, I would overall say that it's been pretty good. So I'm going to match Mitsugi and give it a 4 hand claps out of 5.
What
Chop, chop.
about the other 2? You gotta at least clap 4 times.
Was that 3? 4.
No,
yeah.
You got it. 6 claps out of 5, everyone. You heard it here. Yeah, I mean, obviously, animation was stunning. The music, I thought, both the OP and the ED, but like even beyond that, because I thought those songs were just really more bolstered by the visuals. The music in the shows, from the fight sequences to the slower moments, were very solid. Some characters really landed, some really didn't. I think the Jujutsu or the Juju Sanpos, like the ending like 2 minutes of each thing, were
those are
fantastic.
Yeah, those are cute.
I love those. Those actually kind of endeared me to the characters more than the 20 minutes of show beforehand. And really, you got to see them interact in a much more casual way. And they were just a ton of fun. And the show had heart. But at the end of the day, like, maybe I expected too much for it being a shonen. And it just was a good one, but it didn't revolutionize anything. So, like Mint said, pacing was great. Characters were mostly all right. And it did what it needed to do to win out in the end. So I'm going to give it 3.5 baby pandas out of 5.
Oh God, they were so cute. It was so cute.
They were so cute. I was a little disappointed with how the panda ended up being after being like, wow, parkour panda. And then I met the character. I'm like, whatever. But then I saw baby pandas. I was like, oh, okay, I'm back in now.
You know what I loved about the OPs is that, you know, they had parkour panda in the first OP, and then the second OP, they went upped it with gorilla panda.
Gorilla panda, which makes sense. And like,
Does it?
I'll save it. Yeah, because he's like part gorilla energy.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, same thing with like the ending. Like at first they had like that weird guitar strumming at the end, and I was like, oh, I hate when the endings are performed by characters, and why I had that weird guitar thing. But then it made sense because that's the old dude's power. So
yeah, I mean, it was stupid, but it still made sense.
exactly. It redeemed itself. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. That's exactly what I gave Demon Slayer, and I think they each have some pros and cons compared to one another, and they kind of occupy the same space in my head. So that's all I got.
I can't wait for the next season. I don't know when it's coming out, but I know it's coming. So, yeah, its second season will be even bigger than this season, I'm sure. That's about it, guys.
Okay, so I guess it's time to close this thing out. I just want to say, closing statement. Please show your support and have me not do the Nato thing, please. It's one thing if we all had agreed to do the Nato thing and wanted to have that be the punishment, but I'm the only one who didn't want it to be the punishment, and I wouldn't want Mason to do it, wouldn't want Mitsuki to do it, wouldn't want to see Mio do it either, obviously. So if anybody can like show their support on the Discord, please.
Look for the Twitter poll. Save Caroline's soul if you think she earns it.
I mean, it's on the rudimentary Twitch poll I did. I doubt that is going to be helpful. All I can say is everyone here is sadistic and awful. So let's talk about social media. You can go to Twitter at AAA Podcast, which I sort of run. So please show your support, please. You can find Mitsugi at Mitsugi and Mason at Macy Pacey. You can go curse them out. Use your cursed speech and make them change their mind.
Bring it on.
You can go to our Facebook page, Facebook groups at AA Podcast. Our Discord, of course, you can join through the aapodcast.com website. And speaking of the Discord, we have some things going on. For example, on April 21st at 10 p.m. EDT, we're going to be watching Hosoki no Ritetsu. And what's the manga club up to?
April 28th, we're talking Rodokoi, volumes 1 through 2. So check that out. Both of them are going to be at 10 p.m. EDT, so we'd love to see you there.
All right, thank you very much. And with that, we wish you another wonderful week of anime addiction. So peace out, everyone.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.